What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Best and Worst number 3. Oh, whoa. Yikes. Well, ignore that. Welcome to Best and Worst number 3. Or is this number 4? I don't know. Number 4, we are talking about my favorite New York Knicks. Unfortunately, we did not get Donovan Mitchell, but is it really unfortunate? I made a video a couple days ago talking about how the Knicks won the Donovan Mitchell trade, even though we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. And I truly believe that because I think that the Jazz really wanted to get picks, and they were asking for RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and 5 picks. And that's way too much. I'm sorry. Like, Quentin Grimes is a really good player. RJ Barrett is a really good player and undoubtedly will improve. He's got so much to improve upon, and he's a hard worker. He will. While I don't think he will end up being a number one option or a number one scoring option on a championship team, strong defensively. He's got a lot of promise in a lot of different areas. He's shown that he's can shoot 40% from three already in his career. So, he's going to be a key piece for whatever we want to do in the and fortunately, Donovan Mitchell at this point could not be realistically gotten for that future. This is not the end of the Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks saga, and I expect to see him on the Knicks probably after free agency with the Cavs, unless maybe he really likes Cleveland. Who knows? But I do think Donovan Mitchell will at one point end up on the Knicks, and I think didn't work out this time, but maybe another time. That being said, we're looking at the best and the worst case scenario for each teams, and the Knicks are a little bit odd because we have Julius Randle on our team, who was an All NBA second team player 2 years ago, deservingly so, and then last year was like one of the worst players in the league. He was really, really dreadful. He was ball stopping. He was missing all his shots. He didn't try on defense, which was very different from last year. His shooting percentages went down across the board. It was brutal. It was brutal to watch. It was brutal to be a Knicks fan last year. RJ also had a little bit of a slump, but you know, young. It is what it is. The best case scenario for the New York Knicks can be one of two things depending on what you want. So I'll give you both. Best case scenario number one: Julius Randle gets traded for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Right, like some good players that you can fit into the rotation. You can they're really starter caliber players, but you can put them off the bench, all that stuff. Or maybe you don't get them both, maybe you get one. But basically, we trade Julius Randle. It doesn't really matter who we get back. It could be for literally anyone. We trade Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, uh, both have really good years. RJ returns to what he was last year, maybe even a little bit better. His finishing's better. His right hand seems a bit more usable, and that opens up the game for everyone. Uh, all our young pieces start to develop. Keep Derrick Rose because he's undoubtedly the best player on the team. I said so when Julius Randle was an All NBA second team player. It was because of Derrick Rose, and he was our closer. He was the best player on the team almost every night he was out there. Quickly makes a jump. Quentin Grimes shows really good promise off the bench, and maybe contests for that starter role. And the Knicks embrace the youth movement. That's option one, number one. And of course, Jalen Brunson proves to be a good passer and a strong point guard for the team. And that's what would be the hope if you were to get rid of Randle. Best case scenario number two: Julius Randle shows that he can be a part of the team, that he's going to try on defense again, that he wants to be there, which he really didn't show or act like last year. He didn't act like he wanted to be a part of the team. He didn't play defense. He was pouting. He did all sorts of things that did not work out well. So he kind of goes back into this very team friendly guy and does well. The combination of him and Jalen Brunson ends up proving very nice. Their pick and roll is very deadly. Mitchell Robinson is healthy the whole year, and the Knicks it could make the playoffs, be a top 6 seed. I don't know about anything beyond that. I wouldn't bet on it, to be honest with you, but it's a possibility. I don't know what seed they would be. I think the East has gotten a lot stronger from 2 years ago, and I think that's partly why the Hawks struggled, because they went to the conference finals in a year where everybody was kind of weak or injured, and and the thing is that I saw that conference finals uh, run coming from that side of the bracket. I just thought it was going to be the Knicks. I thought Julius Randle was going to be the All NBA second team player, and it was going to be the Knicks making that conference finals run. I like saw who they had to play in round 2, and I was like, you know what, the Knicks could beat them. Like, there's a real chance that they could beat them, and it was the Hawks, and I was wrong about that. But props to Trae Young. But the East is strong. There are a lot of good teams now, so even just making the playoffs at this point is hard. And I think the Jazz felt that way about the West. They felt that they were falling out of the West. That's why they broke everything. And them breaking everything up really was them saying there's going to be so many teams trying to compete. We can just blow this up right now. Some teams are going to age out in a couple years. We're going to tank for Victor Wembanyama, and that's just going to be the play. Get Scoot. And that's what it is. However, I think the worst case scenario for the Knicks, and this is why I've been like kind of meandering. The worst case scenario is really hard to say. The worst case scenario is that we're good, not great. We miss the play-in, or I guess we're okay, not good, and we miss the play-in. We end up what the 11 seed, and we miss the play-in by like a game or two, and get no postseason. You get Julius Randle traded for nothing, and Obi and all these young players are struggling, but not struggling in a positive way. Thibodeau is still playing veterans for whatever reason, trying to win, and all this stuff combines, and we've wasted the past couple of years. That's the worst case scenario. I think the worst realistic case scenario is that we don't trade anyone. We make the play-in, lose in one of the play-in games in depressing fashion, and then we go into the offseason in 2023 and do nothing. Stagnation is really the worst case scenario for the New York Knicks, because right now our direction is kind of unclear. It's a little bit like the Raptors where the direction's unclear, but at least they've got Scotty Barnes. We've got RJ Barrett. But I don't know how much I believe in the RJ Barrett Julius Randle pairing as a core for the team. At least as long as Julius Randle is a negative returns to that plus defender that he was in the past, and then we can talk. But this team at this point has no hope of being a strong contender, playoff contender, I should say, without that defensive effort on Julius Randle's part. Because now that we've got Jalen Brunson, we don't have all these veterans on the perimeter who can pick up his slack. He needs to step up. So that's my pitch for the best worst Knicks. I think this one went longer than the other ones, but that's because I kind of had a lot to talk about and a lot of feelings about it. And also the Knicks situation is kind of unclear, unlike the other teams. Like the Cavs are trying to win. The Warriors are trying to win. The Celtics are trying to win. All these teams are trying to win. And the Knicks, it's like we're trying to win, but also we need to develop some of these younger pieces, and it's all got fired up by the Donovan Mitchell trade. And the one thing about this video is that the Knicks might do something this like right now before the start of the season with all their picks. I don't know if they will. I think they might stick with what we have and maybe try to do things at the mid-season deadline, which I wouldn't hate. However, I think if there's a trade for Julius Randle, that's not us giving up like Julius Randle and 2 first-round picks for like I don't know, Buddy Hield and Turner. Like no, it would be like that. That's too much. Why are we gonna do that? Unless those are the like Hornets and Wizards pick, right? Like that are like top 18 protected. Give those away. I don't care. None of our picks. Not our picks. Other people's picks. Fine. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Whatever. It was complicated. They might not be done. So does this video hold? Not. But we'll see in the future, and if something happens, I will make a video on it. Thank you so much for watching if you got to this point. Sub up, boys.